In this video, I want to compare and contrast the Wusthof Classic to the Wusthof Gourmet Tomato Knives. And they're called tomato knives, but they're also sort of known as serrated utility knives, so they have lots of different uses in the kitchen. Both of these knives at first glance might look very similar, but they're actually very different. The Gourmet is their entry-level set of knives, and the Classic is their standard set of knives. They both start out with the same steel, 58 hardness, but the Classic is hand-forged, and the Gourmet is machine stamped. And the end result is this forged knife is going to be much more resilient than the Gourmet's stamped blade. On top of that, the actual angles they're ground to are very different. The Classic is a very, very sharp 14-degree angle, while the Gourmet is a relatively dull 18.5-degree angle. And to put that in perspective, if I were to take the Classic and try to shave my arm, every hair would get cut off on the first pass. And with the Gourmet, if I were to try to do that, no hairs would come off. The final thing I want to talk about in terms of the blade is the rigidity. Because this knife is forged, the Classic has a really nice bolster in between the blade and the handle, which means this knife is very rigid. In contrast, the stamped single-piece handle and knife of the Gourmet is extremely flexible because there's nothing keeping things together. They both have full tangs though, as you saw, and the handles are actually very different. The handle of the Classic feels like a very high quality handle. It's very nice, soft. It's a very nice and sort of soft touch plastic, while the handle of the Gourmet feels very cheap. It feels almost like a dollar store knife when you hold it, and it really just doesn't give you that much confidence. At the end of the day, even though they both have lifetime warranties, I don't really think, because of everything that I mentioned, I could ever really suggest the Gourmet to anybody. For the price that you're paying for the Gourmet, it makes sense to either purchase a Schunsor set, which I think are the best entry-level knives, or to just pay a little bit more money and get the Classic set, which you know are not going to have any compromises like the Gourmets have. Either way, I'll put a link down to both below. If you have any questions, any comments, or any concerns, as always, let me know. And otherwise, I will talk to you very soon.